This is my Dodge Viper, and today I'm going to take it to CarMax for an appraisal. But before I do that, a lot of you have asked why I haven't filmed a video with my Viper for a while. Well, for a couple months there it was cold and wintry, and I already showed you how the Viper performs in winter weather. And then 3 weeks ago, I was driving to CarMax to make this video, and this happened. First, I noticed some smoke coming out of the hood of the Viper while I was stopped at a red light. Then I pulled over and noticed even more smoke coming out of the hood. When I opened the hood, there was still more smoke and a lot of coolant all over the engine. And so the Viper was carefully loaded up onto a flatbed tow truck by the helpful folks at AAA Mid-Atlantic, and it drove off on the way to my mechanic so its latest problem could get fixed. Ironically, this occurred in the exact same alley where my Aston Martin broke down a little over a year ago. I swear this was completely unplanned. Anyway, for those of you who have been following along with my Viper, you know that this is the second time my Viper has already broken down. The first time was as I was teaching my friend Britt to drive a manual transmission for the first time. The Viper broke down and it had to be towed. This time, same situation, and in both cases the culprit was the same. The first time the radiator failed, coolant leaked everywhere, and I had it replaced with a more durable and better part. This time the coolant hoses failed, coolant leaked everywhere, and I told my shop replace everything under the hood that looks old and rubbery because I actually want to be able to drive this thing. Here's the reality. The Viper is a 20-year-old car and ultimately a 20-year-old Chrysler, so I never expected it to be perfectly reliable. Anyway, onto CarMax. Now, for those of you who don't know about CarMax, it's a nationwide used car retailer here in the United States, and they sell a lot of cars, but they also say that they will buy any car from you, any car from anybody. Just bring it in and CarMax will make you an offer on it. So I've brought all of my past cars to CarMax in order to see what they'll offer me for it, because you apparently find it rather amusing. Now here's why it's funny. CarMax only sells cars that are 10 years or newer, in good condition, with decent mileage. If you bring in a car like that, CarMax will give you top dollar. I once had a friend who brought in a car that fit CarMax's criteria of cars they would actually sell, and they offered him basically retail for it, which was shocking to me. But then there are cars like mine, which is pretty much the last car that CarMax would ever want anything to do with. You see, CarMax has a list of cars that they are unwilling to sell for any reason, and because they're too exotic or too weird, and the Viper is on that list, so CarMax doesn't even sell these. Plus, my car is in 1997, so it's about 10 years older than CarMax's cutoff for any vehicle they'd ever want to sell. So when people bring in cars like this, CarMax just makes them a really low offer because they're just going to turn around and wholesale it to somebody who will take it off their hands. They really want no part of a car like this. And so today I'm going to go find out what the offer is. Now everybody always seems to enjoy when I do this, so I go early in the morning on a weekday so I don't really waste anyone's time. So that brings up the question of exactly what are they going to offer me. Now, I paid $36,000 or $37,000 for this car retail, but CarMax won't want anything to do with this car, so they're not going to offer me anything close to retail. And since it's so old and un-CarMaxy, I suspect they're also going to not really offer anything close to wholesale either. My guess is I'd be lucky to get an offer from them for $25,000. So let's see what happens. And of course, for more of my thoughts on the CarMax Viper experience, click the link below for my column on autotrader.com/oversteer. Unfortunately, I can't show you what happened next because I can't film at CarMax, but first I arrived and everyone thought I was clearly a rather disturbed individual to be showing up asking them to appraise a Dodge Viper. Initially, they checked out the condition of the car, and then the CarMax appraiser took it on a road test. I personally wasn't there for this road test, but here's my reenactment. So they took it out on a road test, and I met Chip and John here at the CarMax Maple Shade in New Jersey. They were very nice, as everyone is. John owned a Roush Mustang himself, which is always annoying. Every time I come here, I feel like they are car people, and I always want to get someone who's not into cars, so they're like, don't know what to value my car at, and they're like, oh, we'll give you 50 grand for it. But that's not what happened, and in the end, the offer was $25,000. Yes! I got it perfectly. Do I know my CarMax wholesale trade-in appraisal process or what? Now keep in mind that $25,000, initially I bought this car for $37,000, so I don't think CarMax values this car quite as highly as a car enthusiast might. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we now know exactly how much CarMax does not want my Dodge Viper. More importantly, for all of you Viper fans, the Viper videos have started up again. I filmed 2 this week, and I'd like to film at least a few more before I sell the Viper sometime this summer, assuming it doesn't break down again.